Hey there, welcome. Let's get right into a pretty radical idea. What if the biggest thing holding you back in your career isn't your boss, or the economy, or even how hard you work? What if it's something totally invisible, something you inherited from your ancestors that's literally running in your DNA right now? Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? You're putting in the extra hours, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but you just feel stuck. It's like you're running on a treadmill, pushing against some invisible wall you just can't break through. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, well, you're definitely not alone.
And this just nails the feeling, doesn't it? Imagine you're climbing this huge mountain and you can see your goal right there at the top. But every single step feels impossibly heavy. The source material we're looking at today says it's because you're basically carrying this massive invisible weight. And figuring out what that weight is, that's the key to everything. So, where in the world does this invisible resistance even come from? It's not about just having a bad mindset or not being motivated enough. Nope. The theory we're exploring today says it's something way, way deeper. Something that is literally coded into your biology. This brings us to the big idea on this slide, a counterintention. Okay, think of it like this. It's an invisible program running in the background of your mind. So while you consciously are saying, I want that big promotion, I want to double my income, this hidden subconscious force is pulling you in the complete opposite direction. It's a tug of war, and you don't even know you're in it. And here's where this idea gets truly wild. We're not just talking about something you picked up in your childhood. The claim here is that these counterintentions, this baggage, can be passed down through at least 7 generations. Just think about that for a second. A hardship or a trauma your great-great-great-grandmother went through could be subconsciously derailing your career goals today. It's mind-blowing. And these blocks, they often sound surprisingly familiar, don't they? Maybe one of your ancestors truly believed that money is the root of all evil, or maybe that being successful was actually dangerous in their world. These powerful beliefs, born from their real-life experiences, they don't just vanish. According to this theory, they get passed down like energetic heirlooms embedded right in your DNA. Now, this slide is super interesting because it basically challenges everything we're normally taught, right? We're told to just think positive, hustle harder, use the law of attraction. But this theory says those things often don't work because they're just painting over a giant crack in the foundation. They don't fix the root problem. The source material suggests that the real secret, the missing key, is clearing out this deep DNA-level resistance first. So if the problem is this deep, if it's literally in your cells, how on earth do you fix it? Well, the solution presented is fascinating. It suggests you don't fight this resistance. You don't wrestle with it. You neutralize it by changing your own personal frequency. Let's see what that actually means. Okay, I know the word frequency can sound a little abstract, a little out there, but the core idea here is actually grounded in biology. The point is that your thoughts aren't just these invisible, fleeting things. They create real, direct, measurable changes in your physical body. And that right there, that is the doorway to making a change. And look, this isn't just a theory. We see proof of this all the time. Just think a single stressful thought, and boom, your blood pressure physically goes up. The source points to these incredible documented cases of people with multiple personalities whose entire body chemistry, I'm talking eye color, allergies, can change in an instant. Or look at someone like the Iceman, Wim Hof, who can consciously control his immune system. The mind-body connection isn't just real, it's incredibly powerful. So those examples show the mind's power in one lifetime. But now, imagine that power carrying over through generations. To make this really concrete, let's look at this powerful story from the source material. It's about someone's mother who, as you can see from this quote, had this crippling, lifelong, and totally unexplainable fear of water. This timeline on the slide just lays it out so perfectly. This woman had no personal trauma with water, none. But after they looked into her family history, they discovered an ancestor had tragically drowned. That trauma, according to this theory, created a fear frequency, a counterintention, that was passed down through the DNA. And here's the crazy part. Once that specific ancestral frequency was identified and, well, cleared, her lifelong phobia just disappeared. Gone. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, but what can you actually do about it? I mean, this is the important part, right? The source gives a really practical roadmap, boiling it down to 3 simple habits you can start today to begin raising your own personal frequency and clearing out the junk. First, curate your environment. The idea here is that beauty itself, whether it's art or nature, emits a kind of high-frequency aesthetic wave that helps cleanse your energy. Second, and this is a big one, choose your company. You know how you feel drained by some people and energized by others? Well, being around positive, enthusiastic people literally raises your own vibration. And third, listen to high-frequency sounds. The text specifically calls out Baroque classical music for its powerful, uplifting effect.
The principle behind all this is actually really simple. Think of a counterintention, like a fear of success, as a low-frequency radio station that's just broadcasting static in your head. By intentionally surrounding yourself with a much higher, clearer frequency through beauty, positive people, and uplifting music, you create an environment where that static just can't compete. It gets drowned out, neutralized.
So, you start doing this stuff. What happens? What does it actually feel like when you begin to clear out these invisible blocks? What's the real-world payoff? The source uses this perfect metaphor, which you see on the slide. It's like living your whole life with blurry vision and just thinking that's how the world is. Then one day you put on a pair of glasses and suddenly everything is crisp and clear. You realize you've been operating with a handicap you didn't even know you had. People who've actually gone through this process, they report feeling physically lighter. They describe the sense of expansion, of possibility. Their confidence just skyrockets, and they develop this deep knowingness that they can actually achieve their goals because that invisible internal battle is finally over. And these results aren't just feelings. They can be incredibly tangible and show up right in your bank account. The source material is just packed with testimonials from professionals who said their income doubled or even tripled after they started working on clearing these hidden counterintentions they had around money and success. I mean, look at this one. This is one of the most incredible examples reported. Someone went from having $5,000 in the bank to $8 million in just a year and a half. It just shows you the sheer scale of the potential that might be locked away inside us because of these invisible blocks. So we'll end with a question on this final slide, and it's a question for you. Whether it's a bottleneck in your career, a hesitation to step up and lead, or just an income level you can't seem to break past, what invisible resistance, what old story from your past are you ready to finally clear first?